right, shalom, shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all praise, all honor, and all glory unto Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rakakwadash. And next, double honors to the head apostles / elder bishops of the great millstone who teach and who rule well. Peace, blessings, and safety to all you sincere Akim. Keep pushing, keep believing, and keep the faith, regardless of whether people hear or whether they forbear. All right, and this is going to be another installment of news and prophecy. All right, pretty much going into the case that's going on, the criminal case against former President Donald J. Trump. Okay, the allegations of sexual assault and sexual misconduct. All right, now, why is this important to prophecy? All right, it's important to prophecy because most people that consider themselves to be Republican or a right wing or conservative, they want Donald Trump to be reelected. All right, but this criminal case, all right, if he is found guilty, could put a serious damper on him being reelected. All right, and if that happens, then that's going to cause a lot of chaos in Babylon the Great in America. All right, so I'm just going to briefly go over what this case is about. All right, and then, as always, bring out some scriptures, and Lord's will is edifying to the elect. So it's entitled, all right, this is from the Washington Post. It says, in hush money trial closing arguments, Trump defense says he was a victim. Okay, now what's happened here is that President Trump, or former President Trump, he had some kind of sexual relationship with a porn star named Stormy Daniels. All right, and she accused him of sexual misconduct and sexual assault. All right, and now he is on criminal. All right, he is on a criminal case about that. All right, and apparently he falsified documents to give her hush money. Okay, so once again, he's on trial for that. And I said before, if he's found guilty, all right, it'll make it to where he may not be able to run for president. All right, and that's going to cause a lot of chaos amongst the right-wing conservatives and Republicans here in Babylon the Great. Okay, and he himself, all right, I've already got the article pulled up. All right. Okay, this was he said this back in March. All right, he said Trump warns of a bloodbath if he's not re-elected. Okay, so you see that, and it's been put out multiple different news outlets. All right, so Trump warns of a quote unquote bloodbath. All right, if he isn't re-elected at Ohio rally for Senate. Okay, right, for Senate candidate Marino. Okay, so pretty much he's already planting that idea in the minds, all right, in the minds of the people. All right, and we saw what happened when I forgot exactly what day it was, but a bunch of Trump supporters pretty much raided the White House. All right, this is in the prophecies, which is what we're focused on, the prophecies. So let's go here to the book of 2nd Esdras, chapter 15. All right, 2nd Esdras, the 15th chapter, and let's see, verse. All right, let's see. Okay, 2nd Esdras, the 15th chapter. I'm gonna start at verse 14. It says, "Woe to the world and them that dwell therein, for the sword and their destruction draweth nigh, and one people shall stand up and fight against another, and swords in their hands." All right, and the sword represents an instrument of death, a killing instrument. Okay, it says, "For there shall be sedition among men." All right, let's click on it, and let's go to the definition of that word sedition. Okay, it says it's a noun that means conduct or speech inciting people to rebel against the authority of a state or monarch. Okay, so that's pretty much what he has done. Okay, and you have many people that are supporters of his that feel the same way. All right, they said they're going to pretty much cause chaos and rebel against the United States government if Trump is not reelected as president. And we saw that also play out in that movie, Civil War 2024. Okay, but it's conduct or speech inciting people to rebel against the authority of a state or monarch. All right, so it tells you here in the prophecies, for there shall be sedition among men, and invading one another, They shall not regard their kings nor princes, and the course of their actions shall stand in their power. Meaning that people are going to do whatever the hell they want to do. All right, when this time kicks off, they're not going to regard. Okay, when the authorities are saying everybody go back in the house, they're not going to listen. All right, and it's going to break out into an all-out civil war. Okay, and let's get a scripture on that. This is the beginning of the end. All right, for Babylon the Great, possibly. Okay, we see that this place is crumbling. All right, but this is just adding more fuel to the fire. All right, and let's see. I'm gonna get it in KJV and in the NLT. Okay, so this is the book of Saint Mark, chapter 3, and verse 23. And I'm gonna read it first in the KJV. It says, actually, I'll get 24 is what I meant to get. 23 and 24. And he called unto him, and said unto them in parables, how can Satan cast out Satan? And if a kingdom be divided against itself, that kingdom cannot stand. And if a house be divided against itself, that house cannot stand. And if Satan rise against himself and be divided, he cannot stand, but hath an end. Okay, and once again, this is the beginning of that end for Esau, who is, all right, he's the physical counterpart of the spiritual demon Satan. Okay, now let's get in the NLT. Yahushua called them over and responded with an illustration. How can Satan cast out Satan, he asked. Okay, verse 24, a kingdom divided by civil war will collapse. All right, and that's the main point that I wanted to get. Okay, hence the title, all right, News and Prophecy, Trump and Civil War in America. Okay, because this could very well cause a civil war to break out between conservatives and liberals. All right, the right wing and the left wing. And you already know that on the right-hand side, okay, well, not the right-hand side, but the right wing of Babylon the Great, okay, the conservatives, the Republicans, you already know that the vast majority of them, they want to quote-unquote make America great again. In other words, they want a reverse of the Tabernacle of David. They want it to go back to what it was during the time of slavery. Okay, racism has not died here in Babylon the Great. It's very well kicking, living, and it's full on pretty much. All right, they're just very good at hiding it, and the only reason why they hide it is to keep Jake thinking that he is free, so they can continue to control him through their programming, through their system. All right, but I'm gonna read it again. Mark 3 and 24 in the NLT. A kingdom divided by civil war will collapse. All right, and that's the place where we are headed towards. Okay, and that's according to prophecies. All right, let's get more on that. Isaiah chapter 19 and verse 1. It says, behold, the burden of Egypt, behold, the Lord rideth upon a swift cloud, and shall come into Egypt, and the idols of Egypt shall be moved at his presence, and the heart of Egypt shall melt in the midst of it. And I will set Egyptians against Egyptians, all right, and the modern day Egyptians are Esau, Edom, all right, the so-called white men and all his people. All right, that's the modern day Egyptians. They're the ones that are the taskmasters. Okay, they're the ones that are playing the role of the oppressors. Okay, because you had that going on in ancient Egypt. All right, the children of Israel being oppressed. All right, being burdened down. The same thing is happening today, but it's Esau, Edom, and their elites that are forwarding this agenda. Okay, so he says, I will set Egyptians against Egyptians, and they shall fight every one against his brother, and every one against his neighbor. All right. City against city and kingdom against kingdom. Okay. And Yahushua himself spoke of this time. He said this is the beginning of the end pretty much. All right. This is the book of St. Matthew chapter 24 and verse 6. It says, and ye shall hear of wars and rumors of wars. See that ye be not troubled, for all these things must come to pass. But the end is not yet. So it's not going to be the end exactly, but it's the beginning of it. It says, for nation shall rise against nation, and kingdom against kingdom. And there shall be famines, and pestilences, and earthquakes in diverse places. We're already seeing that. All these are the beginning of sorrows. Okay? So these are all the beginning of sorrows. Okay, so once again, all right, this could very well kick off that time that is being spoken of, which is known as Jacob's trouble, I believe. All right. Salakia, not I believe. I know. Jeremiah 30th chapter, Jacob's trouble. All right. Salakia. I'm thinking about something else. as I'm saying that. This is what I want to get here. All right, Second Ezra, the 13th chapter. And let's see, Second Ezra 13 and verse 29. It says, "Behold, the days come when the Most High will begin to deliver them that are upon the earth." All right, so this is the beginning of deliverance for Jacob. All right, and the end of Esau's world, his rulership. It says, "And he shall come to the astonishment of them that dwell on the earth. And one shall undertake to fight against another, one city against another, one place against another, one people against another, and one realm against another." Okay. All right. So that's what's getting ready to come. Okay. It says, verse 32, "And the time shall be when these things shall come to pass, and the signs shall happen, which I showed thee before. And then shall my son be declared, whom thou sawest as a man ascending." Okay. And so as I was saying before, all right, that's pretty much the beginning of the end. And then not too long after that, we know the Lord is going to come when Jacob's trouble really kicks off in full force. All right, then we know that the end is very near. All right. Now I'm gonna close out with this. Okay, this is the end of Esau's world and the beginning of Jacob's world. All right, this is the beginning of the Israelites that are going to be delivered. Okay, this is 2 Ezra 6 and 7. "Then answered I and said, What shall be the parting asunder of the times?" Okay. "And when shall be the end of the first and the beginning of it that followeth?" So right now we're in the first eon. All right, the first age, the first world. Okay. And the prophet Ezra is asking what's going to be the beginning. All right, what's going to be the end of the first, which is the world we're in now, and what's going to be the beginning of it that followeth. "And he said unto me, From Abraham unto Isaac, when Jacob and Esau were born of him, Jacob's hand held first the heel of Esau. For Esau is the end of the world, and Jacob is the beginning of it that followeth." Okay, so right now, who's ruling over the earth? Esau, he's the end of the world. And Jacob is the beginning of it that followeth. The kingdom of the Israelites comes next. It says, let me see, and I'm probably going to skip down. All right, 2 Ezra 6 and let's see, verse 18. "And it said, Behold, the days come that I will begin to draw nigh and to visit them that dwell upon the earth, and will begin to make inquisition of them, what they be that have hurt unjustly with their unrighteousness, and when the affliction of Zion shall be fulfilled." Okay, and who is that that's hurt unjustly with their unrighteousness? It's talking about Esau. All right, Esau, Edom, the so-called white man. Verse 20, "And when the world that shall begin to vanish away shall be finished, then will I show these tokens. The book shall be opened before the firmament, and they shall see all together. And the children of a year old shall speak with their voices. The women with child shall bring forth untimely children of 3 or 4 months old, and they shall live and be raised up. And suddenly shall the sown places appear unsown. The full storehouses shall suddenly be empty." Okay, that's a part of Jacob's trouble as well, the famine. All right, that great, the famine of the word, but also actual famine is going to come across the land. All right, it says, "And the trumpet shall give a sound, which when every man heareth, they shall be suddenly afraid. At that time, friends fight one against another like enemies, and the earth shall stand in fear with those that dwell therein. The springs of the fountain shall stand still, and in 3 hours they shall not run. Whomsoever remaineth from all these that I have told thee shall escape and see my salvation and the end of your world." Okay, so as I just read, civil war kicks off. All right, it breaks out. That is the end of this world. All right, the end of the age of Esau. Okay, and the beginning of Jacob. So once again, Lord's will, this was edifying. Just a quick little update on current events, all right, world news, and how it ties into prophecy. Okay, because if Trump is convicted and he's found guilty, all right, this could very well easily, like I said, damper his case or his him being reelected, and that can possibly cause a lot of issues. And Lord's will, it does. We're hoping for the race wars, the class wars, the civil wars, because once these things come, all right, Jacob's trouble pops off. That's when we know that the Lord is coming very, very soon. Right after that, and Lord's will, we be that number that is of the elect, and we make it into the kingdom. All right. So, anyways, with that being said, all praise.